Monica Geller seems like she's the most normal and well-adjusted of the friends, and I was wondering if I would be able to come up with 10 reasons why she's actually the worst friend, but it was surprisingly easy. Hi everyone, I'm Rosie Blythe. I'm the author of the Princess Guide to Life book series, and on this channel we talk about everything from spirituality to books to dogs to money. And today I'm continuing my little mini series on friends and why each of the characters is both the best and the worst. So if you've watched any of the previous videos, you may know I like to dress the part. Monica seems to like kind of print tops, and real fans will know why I have blue fingernails. So Monica is probably the friend I would most want to live next door to, not least for the free gourmet meals and snacks that she provides. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, she's actually got some really annoying qualities.
You want to be in charge of the food committee?
Question 2. Why do we always have to have parties with committees?
Yeah, really, why can't we just get some pizzas and get some beers and have fun?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think fancy parties are only fun if you're fancy on the inside, and I'm just not sure we are.
All right. You guys don't want it to be special.
I think a prime example of Monica being a complete fun sponge is when there are 2 parties for Rachel's birthday. By the way, is Rachel the only one who ever gets to have a birthday? I know we see snippets of the others, but there are at least 3 episodes across the whole series where it's all about Rachel's birthday. I feel like no one else gets the same level of fuss, but that's just the writers, I guess. But anyway, Rachel has 2 birthday parties going on at the same time because her parents are at war and so they can't be in the same room. And so the boys have one party where people are drinking and dancing and having fun like you would expect to do at a party. Monica's is more like an old lady party.
Could you guys please try to keep it down? We're trying to start a boggle tournament.
Where you have to play games, but they're not fun games. I actually kind of love a party game, but the way that Monica plays is not fun.
Okay, people, I want you to take a piece of paper, here you go, and write down your most embarrassing memory. Oh, and I do ask that when you're not using the markers, you put the caps back on them because they will dry out.
Monica wants people to write down embarrassing moments. I don't think that would be fun for anyone. This is definitely like an exaggerated version of why she's annoying, because I don't think anyone would actually play that game, would they? So Monica just can't accept the fact that her way is not the most fun way. She's like, no, I'm right, it's everyone else who's wrong.
Where are you going?
I was sort of thinking about maybe...
No, you can't go. No, this is fun. Come on, we're just getting started. Here's your marker.
So she doesn't really kind of have any real awareness of social situations in that particular example.
And I think when people are literally begging to be smuggled out of your party because it's so boring, that's when you know you're not the most entertaining hostess.
It's supposed to be at my party. And Gunther!
Welcome to the foe.
Phoebe!
All right, I'm sorry, but these people needed me. You know, they work hard all week. It's Saturday night. They deserve to have a little fun. Go!
You know, my party is fun. I mean, maybe it's a little quieter, less obvious sort of fun, but you know, if people would just give it a chance, it's so...
Monica is a real stickler for the rules, and she kind of sucks the fun out of any game they play, whether it's by being ultra competitive, which we will talk more about, whether she's telling Phoebe that her funny way of playing a game is not correct.
And if you win, you must slap your opponent on the Phoebe and say, "Hi, Phoebe."
Oh, that's cute. We really all enjoyed it. But you know it doesn't count.
Count for what?
Just count in our heads as good Mad Libs.
I guess fun time's over.
No, wait, guys. If we follow the rules, it's still fun, and it means something.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off.
Guys, rules are good. Rules help control the fun.
I have to admit, I do sometimes find myself channeling my inner Monica. I love swimming, and I remember one time I went to lane swimming, and I think it was like Christmas Eve or some like random time like that, and they took the lanes out. I guess they were like, oh, it's Christmas Eve, let's have some fun. But it was not fun because everyone was swimming all over the place. And it was just chaos. Like, you couldn't swim properly because there were just people in the way. You couldn't get anywhere without kind of worrying that you're going to bump into someone. And I remember kind of thinking, I do relate to Monica here because sometimes you do need rules to make the fun more fun. So while I think Monica would actually be a good person to know because she loves cooking, she loves cleaning, she would come around and do that for you, that's a good friend to have. And I think that's probably why she and Rachel have managed to stay friends, because she likes cleaning up mess that Rachel leaves around. She definitely kind of, I don't know, she sort of lays down the law sometimes and doesn't allow people to do the things that they think will be fun. Another example is when Monica and Phoebe attempt to play with the dollhouse together.
So I'm here, ready to play.
Okay.
I brought a bunch of stuff for the house, so check it out.
What's this?
That's a dog. Every house should have a dog.
Not one that can pee on the roof.
Well, maybe it's so big because the house was built on radioactive waste.
And is this in case the house sneezes?
No. No, that's the ghost for the attic.
I don't want a ghost.
Well, nobody wants a ghost.
And I do, again, I kind of relate to Monica here because it reminded me of, like, you know, when you're a kid, and I feel like I'm actually reliving my childhood now, but you know, like when you want to play a realistic game and someone else is kind of like messing it up and making it stupid by adding unrealistic elements like a giant dog in your like normal sized house. And I think that's what Monica was kind of like, she wanted to play with it properly, and it's like, no, that's not what this doll's house is all about. So I do kind of sympathise with Monica here, but you'd think she would expect that from Phoebe.
Dinosaur attack! Quick, everybody into the house!
All right, Phoebe, you know what? That's it. That's it.
It's like, you've got to know your friends, you've got to cut them some slack when they're just acting like they always act. That wasn't unusual behaviour for Phoebe, so I think Monica could have probably expected that and just been like, let's just go with the flow.
No dinosaurs, no ghosts, no giant dogs, okay? They're not the right size, they're not Victorian, and they just don't go.
Okay. Fine. Come, dinosaur. We're not welcome in the house of no imagination.
Another example is at Thanksgiving when Ross and Joey want to go and hang out with the hot dancers. Why doesn't she just let them? Why doesn't she just say, like, okay, cool, see you later?
Oh, well, the food smells great, Mom.
Yeah, and the place looks so nice.
Yeah, and hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Oh, well, this has been great.
See ya.
Whoa! Where are you going?
Oh, we did say we'd stop by this little thing Joey's roommate is having.
Oh, Janine, the really hot dancer girl?
Some would say she's attractive, yes.
And who else is going to be there?
Just some of her friends. Yeah.
Her dancer friends?
Yes, all right? All of her hot dancer friends are gonna be there, and they'll be drinking and dancing, and we really want to go. Dude, we were good.
You're not gonna go anywhere. You said you're gonna eat here, and you're gonna eat here.
She's very sort of rigid in her thinking sometimes. She's like, you said you were coming for dinner, so you have to come for dinner and stay for a long time. And I think sometimes you've just got to let people do what they want to do.
In her defence, she is just trying to do what she thinks is best for everyone. I mean, she's right about the pens.
I've noticed that some of you are just placing them on. You want to push the caps until you hear them click. Ross, put on the floor or come over no more.
So in a flashback sequence, we discover that Phoebe was originally Monica's roommate. And actually, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think we actually ever find out how Phoebe got introduced to the rest of the group, because we know that Joey basically answered an ad, and that's how he ended up as Chandler's roommate. I feel like the same thing must have happened with Phoebe, because how else would she have got to know Monica or any of them? Like, I feel like it would have been an answering an ad situation.
So they were roommates.
I'm sorry that I left lipstick marks on the phone.
You didn't leave lipstick marks on the phone.
Oh, then it must have been you.
Bye-bye.
Until Phoebe moved out by stealth because she was too afraid to tell Monica that she was moving out.
You know, while we're on that, when are you gonna tell my sister that you don't live here anymore?
I think on some level she already knows.
Phoebe, she doesn't know that you sneak out every night. She doesn't know that you sneak back every morning, and she doesn't know that you've been living at your grandmother's for a week now.
Okay, well, maybe not on those levels.
She couldn't live with Monica anymore because it was too stressful living with her.
I couldn't sleep for like a month because I got like a dot of ink on one of the sofa cushions?
Well, you could have just turned the cushion over.
I would have, except I had a big spaghetti stain on the other side. What? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. This, I need to live in a land where people can spill.
Well, you can spill in the sink.
And when she describes, you know, not being able to sleep because she got a stain on a cushion and all that kind of stuff, it really kind of makes you realise, like, oh yeah, no, that would be awful to live with someone whose hygiene and cleaning standards are that kind of strict. Because you kind of think, like, oh, it would be really cool to have a friend like Monica if she loves cleaning. You could just, like, invite her around when your house is messy and just be like, yeah, go to town. Maybe that would be okay if you didn't live with her, but I think living in her home, because it is her house. I know we've talked about this in the Rachel video where Rachel's like, oh, but it's just as much my home. And it's like, no, it's Monica's grandmother's flat, apartment. So yeah, it is hers. And it's obviously filled with her possessions. Maybe like her family furniture, I don't know. So yeah, she wants to keep it a certain way, and most people can't live that way, and it would be really stressful. And then when Phoebe moves in after the fire, it seems lovely at first, you know, it's like home-baked cookies, how delightful. But yeah, not having a lock on the door and being told when to come and eat them, and like, yeah, no, I'm fine, being ignored.
How's it going?
Well, not much has changed in the last 5 minutes.
Yes, it has. I made cookies.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'm still full from your homemade potato chips.
Oh.
So.
But you should eat them now because they're hot from the oven.
Okay.
No, but not in here. Can't eat them in bed. Remember, no crummies.
Oh. Okay, I'll be out in a second.
Okay. What are you doing?
This doesn't lock, does it?
Yeah, that would be very hard to live with, and I don't think many people could or would put up with it. You know, I think Rachel isn't necessarily a better fit as a roommate for Monica. I think she's, in her own quiet way, she's probably just as chaotic as Phoebe in terms of, you know, losing things and forgetting to write down messages or whatever. But I do think that Rachel doesn't really have a backup when she first, you know, moves to the city. So she kind of has to put up with Monica's very exacting standards.
Oh, what do you think?
Very clean.
Great, really, it looks great.
Very clean.
Oh, I see you moved the green ottoman.
Obviously Phoebe can just go somewhere else, so she does. And Chandler obviously moves in because he loves Monica, and he just kind of puts up with it and lives in fear, I guess.
Chandler, Monica is looking for you.
Really?
Yeah, she said something about crummies.
No, I was so careful.
I think when Phoebe moved out from under Monica's thumb, it was probably so freeing and liberating to be like, don't have to worry about crummies anymore. That must have been, like, yeah, a big relief.
What you doing?
What does it look like? I am cleaning.
Did you get Monica's authorization to move all of her stuff?
Authorization? I don't need that. I'm gonna put everything back.
Put it back exactly where you found it?
Yes, I'm gonna put it back exactly where I found it.
Okay, first of all, that attitude is not helping.
She is not gonna care if I put her stuff back in the same stupid place.
Oh, hello? Did you just meet Monica?
To be fair, she is at least self-aware enough to realise that she does have unusually high standards and not everyone is going to meet them all the time. So there is that.
Bye. Well, I don't see anything different other than the fact that the room got so much brighter when you came into it.
Well, the end table is wrong. I mean, the couch looks bizarre, and don't even get me started on the refrigerator magnets.
Okay, look, don't be mad, okay? But after I unpack the boxes, I want to do something nice for you. So I cleaned the apartment. So I moved everything around, and then I forgot where it went back. And I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Chandler, are you afraid of me or something?
Do you want me to be afraid of you?
Of course not. Oh my gosh, Chandler, what you did, it's such a wonderful thing, and I really appreciate it. I know I have this weird thing where I want everything to be in the perfect place, but I would never expect you to worry about that.
I think Monica does lean into her reputation as being like really into cleaning and really organised. Like she loves her label maker and she, you know, wants to teach Rachel how to pack and stuff like that. But she's not as organised as she thinks she is.
And I'm not even talking about the storage closet of doom, although this is an excellent example of Monica keeping up her reputation for being a neat freak while secretly being just as messy as the rest of us.
Oh my God!
How did you get in there?
You're messy.
No, you weren't supposed to see this.
When she agrees to do the catering for Carol and Susan's wedding and then ends up kind of overwhelmed and running out of time. I can so see myself doing this. She's not as good at organising as she thinks she is. She ends up having like a massive panic and roping everyone else in to do it with her. So yeah, I think she likes the reputation of being super organised. I don't think she necessarily is super organised.
All right, people, we're in trouble here. We've only got 12 hours and 36 minutes left. Move, move, move!
Monica, I feel like you should have German subtitles.
Joey, speed it up.
I'm sorry, it's the pigs. They're reluctant to get in the blankets.
Monica, how did this happen? I thought you had this all planned out.
Do you want me to cry? Is that what you want? Do you want to see me cry? Sir, no, sir!
And also with Phoebe, when Monica says, I'll be your wedding planner, obviously kind of priding herself on her organisational skills, a lot of things go wrong. And Monica's really mean. She's like, oh, I know how to fix it. You'll have to ask me back. But the fact that so many things went wrong is kind of down to her in the first place.
Well, I guess if you're taking over, then you should probably return these messages.
Whoa, this is a lot.
Uh-huh. But I'm sure you can handle this. I mean, I have won awards for my organizational skills, but I'm sure you'll do fine.
You've won awards?
Mm-hmm. I printed them out on my computer.
Did you guys know that there's a giant ice sculpture in the hall?
Oh my God, what's it doing here?
Oh, I guess it got sent to the billing address as opposed to the shipping address. What a pickle.
Oh, wait, so what you're saying is that the chef is at the Hamilton Club, but the food is not, and the drinks are there, but the bartender is not? Are you freaking kidding me?
So this is kind of grasping at straws because Monica is basically a decent person, but she can be weirdly passive. I think probably my least favourite episode of Monica is there's a movie shooting locally and she sees Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was, you know, quite the heartthrob in the 90s, I guess.
I'm more of an Arnie, Bruce, Sylvester kind of girl myself.
I was never really keen on the muscles from Brussels.
And a little piece of trivia, there were some kissing scenes with both Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox which didn't make the final cut, but apparently he was inappropriately enthusiastic, shall we say, and they had to complain about him repeatedly, so yeah, kind of creepy. I think my instinct to prefer the other 90s action heroes was on point.
But anyway, Monica sees him, she really likes him, but she's too shy to approach him, so Rachel says she will, and Monica's kind of like, oh no, don't, but then she kind of wants her to. Tell him I cook, or whatever it is she says.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. What? Jean-Claude Van Damme. I didn't know he was in this movie. He's so hot. You think? The muscles from Brussels? Wham Bam Van Damme? Did you see Time Cop? No. Was he any good in it? Rachel, he like totally changed time. Wow. So why don't you go talk to him? Yeah. What? So you go over there, you tell him you think he's cute? What's the worst that could happen? He could hear me. Oh. Okay, I'm doing it for you. Oh, Rachel, don't you dare, don't! Don't! Tell him I cook! Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
This is gonna sound kinda goofy, but, my friend over there, who cooks, by the way, she thinks you're cute.
You don't think I'm cute?
So what should I tell her?
You can tell her I think her friend is cute.
So what'd he say? Ah, what a jerk. I kept talking about you, and he kept asking me out. I mean, naturally, you know. I said no.
Well, thanks anyway.
he just kept asking.
Rachel, if you want to go out with him, you can. Sounds like a big jerk to me, but if that's what you want to do.
Jean-Claude, she said yes. I'll see you tonight. Thank you.
And then she gets mad at Rachel because Rachel goes out with him. I mean, you could argue the toss, like that probably wasn't a very nice thing for Rachel to do, but also, you know, all's fair in love and war. If a guy asks you out and he doesn't ask your friend out, that's not your problem. I don't know, am I terrible? We talked about this in the Joey video, like, I think if two people like each other, another person wanting to veto that relationship shouldn't necessarily have that right.
Did anybody need anything? Oh, I'll have an espresso. Oh, actually, I'll get it. If I ask you to, you'll probably end up drinking it yourself.
All right. I feel that this is totally unjustified. She gave me the green light. I did nothing. Do you think I can't see you in the TV set? All right, Monica, if there is something that you would like to share...
You know, you had no right to go out with him.
That is the most ridiculous... You sold me out. I did not say you did. You absolutely sold me. Talk. What do you want me to stop seeing him? Is that what you want? Uh-huh. You want me to just call him up and tell him that you're seeing him instead? Is that what you want? Okay.
Why wouldn't Jean-Claude be more attracted to a confident woman who comes up and talks to him like a grown-up
than like some
little girly going, oh, don't say anything?
Like, that'll make you feel like you're back in school.
I don't think most men would be like, oh yeah, I want to go out with that woman who's hiding behind the wall. Of course he's going to be more attracted to Rachel in that particular moment because she's acting like a confident woman. So she's weirdly passive sometimes. She's quite feisty with the people she knows well. Monica can be quite a ballbuster with, you know, her close friends. But when it comes to people that she's not so close to, she goes all weak and feeble. Probably a lot of us can relate to this. People that we're really close to, we can be really feisty with. But anyone else, we're like, oh no, I don't want any confrontation or anything like that. Like, she can't stand up to her mum, and I guess this is probably the root of the problem, was that she was never able to stand up to her mum. I mean, her parents are awful. And yeah, that's probably where a lot of her kind of problems stem from. But she can't quite bring herself to say what she needs to say to her mum. Even when the opportunity's right there, she can't quite push it.
I'm glad you're here. What's with your hair?
What?
What's different?
Nothing.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Monica?
She's unbelievable. Her mother is...
Okay, relax, okay? We are going to be here for a while, it looks like, and we still have boyfriends and your career to cover.
Oh, God.
Your grandmother would have hated this.
Well, sure. What with it being her funeral and all.
No, I'd be hearing about, why didn't I get the honey glazed ham? Or that I didn't spend enough on flowers. And if I spent more, she'd be saying, why are you wasting your money? I don't need flowers, I'm dead.
That sounds like Nana.
Do you know what it's like to grow up with someone who is critical of every single thing you say?
I can imagine.
I'm telling you, it's a wonder your mother turned out to be the positive, life-affirming person she is.
That is a wonder. So, tell me something, Mom. If you had to do it all over again, I mean, if she was here right now, would you tell her?
Tell her what?
How she drove you crazy. Picking on every little detail, like your hair, for example.
I'm not sure I know what you're getting at.
Do you think things would have been better if you just told her the truth?
No. I think some things are better left unsaid. I think it's nicer when people just get along.
But that doesn't make her a bad person. I think we can all probably relate to moments like that where we're like, oh, should I say something? Oh no, the moment's gone.
And also, like, the whole thing with Rachel.
Having two parties, that could have probably been avoided if somebody, probably Monica, had just said to the parents, look, we're having a party for Rachel. We're inviting both of you. Show up if you want. Don't if you don't want to, but this is how it is.
It is quite a passive thing to create two whole separate parties just to avoid the tiniest risk of a confrontation.
Obviously it works for the comedy, but I think in real life that would be really annoying. Especially for Rachel having to kind of, you know, split herself between the two parties because
her friends couldn't quite bring themselves to sort it out for her.
Again, with her kind of fledgling catering company, she has to have Phoebe there to ask for the money.
Yep, did you settle the bill?
No. Hate this part. Excuse me, Miss Burkhart. Well, we're all cleaned up in the kitchen.
Oh, good. Thank you.
And, well, there's just the small matter of the,
Dear?
Just the matter of payment.
Jack used to handle the finances.
Obviously, I think if you're going into any kind of business, you're going to have to get unembarrassed about asking for money. I mean, I've worked as a freelancer. It's almost par for the course that you'll have to send an invoice twice before it gets paid, I've found. Maybe the film industry is just terrible in that way. I've certainly worked in other industries where you do just get paid. And you're like, yeah, that's how it should happen.
You didn't get the money, did you?
Maybe I can try at intermission. Oh, Phoebe, come on, you know what? Let's just go.
No! Hey, we're not leaving till we get paid. I don't know who she thinks she is. Enough is enough.
Any kind of freelance stuff where you have to directly speak to somebody to get paid, they're gonna try and like push it so like, oh, I forgot to pay you, oh, sorry. You just have to not worry about being a bit blunt. And why should you be embarrassed? Like, you've worked for it. They're the ones who should be embarrassed for trying to get out of paying for it.
It's got your wavy black lines.
All right, so now that Ross knows, can you tell us, you know, how it happened? I mean, when did it happen? How many times did it happen?
So Monica and Ross are way too close. And it's weird because I'm assuming the writers, they can't all be like only children who have no idea what it's like to be a sibling. And I know it's not just me who thinks this. I've definitely seen other people comment on how weird it is that Monica and Ross are so close. I've even seen it described as being like the writers occasionally forgot they were siblings.
And there was one occasion where Monica actually did forget they were siblings.
Anything?
I think I hear curtains closing.
We've got shoes being kicked off over here.
Bed springs. Unmistakable.
You do realize that's your brother?
Not until you said it. Somebody switch!
But I mean, it's such a big part of the show, I find that hard to believe. So yeah, it's just really kind of inappropriate sometimes. But it's very early on when Ross is upset about something and Monica is like, oh, I hoped you wouldn't remember. And then when we find out what he's actually sad about, it's the anniversary of him and his ex-wife when they first got together, shall we say.
Oh my God. Oh, is today the 20th, October 20th?
I was hoping you wouldn't remember.
Oh, what's wrong with the 20th?
11 days before Halloween, all the good costumes are gone?
Today's the day Carol and I first consummated our physical relationship. And sex.
Why does Monica know this about her brother? It's very strange, and I don't think many people would know that anniversary for their sibling. I don't think many people would want to know. So yeah, that's very odd. And I guess it might be difficult to keep kind of normal boundaries in place if you and your brother are at the centre of a very close-knit friendship group. Not to mention when he's dating your best friend. But I do find it weird that she's just there swooning.
When Rachel's talking about their first kiss.
Because it's like at no point is she like, oh, that's my brother, I don't need to know too many details.
Ross kissed me.
No! Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God!
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! Okay, all right, we want to hear everything. Monica, get the wine and unplug the phone. Okay. Rachel, does this end well or do we need to get tissues?
Oh, it ended very well.
Oh, do not start without me! Do not start without me! Okay. All right, let's hear about the kiss. Was it like a soft brush against your lips, or was it like a, you know, I gotta have you now kind of thing?
Well, at first it was really intense, you know, and then Oh, God, and then we just sort of sunk into it.
Oh, so, okay, was he holding you, or was his hands, like, on your back? And, you know?
No, actually, first they started out on my waist, and then they slid up, and then they were in my hair.
Oh.
She's just like, oh yeah, oh. I'm thinking about this like it's a romance novel or something, and it's just like, am I being weird, or is that really strange? And then when it turns out there is a videotape of Emma's conception, Monica wants to see it.
So when she came in, I got distracted and totally forgot about the camera. It kept rolling and recorded everything.
Yeah, we're gonna need to see that tape.
Look, it was an accident, okay? I feel bad that it happened, but I swear, I didn't even watch it. Anyway, here. I thought you might be more comfortable destroying it yourself.
Thank you. What? You don't want to see this, do you?
Hell yeah!
I don't think anyone would do that, would they? No one normal, right? And again, you know, they're playing strip poker in a group, but yeah, you don't really want to see your brother strip or your sister, do you, if you're a boy?
I think I'll help her out.
And also, we have this line on the Appalachian date, the famous Appalachian date, which for some reason seems to be creeping into lots and lots of new videos. I don't know why.
I've got to tell you, Bob is terrific. Yeah, isn't he? Oh, it is so great to meet a guy who's smart and funny and has an emotional age beyond like 8. You know what else? He's unbelievable in bed. Wow. My brother never even told me when he lost his virginity. Huh. That's nice.
The joke in this scene is that Joey tricked Monica into a double date so that he can make a move on this woman. But Monica thinks the other guy is on a date with her and this woman is his sister. So she thinks they're just an unusually close pair of siblings. But she actually wishes she had this kind of confiding relationship with her brother. Which, incidentally, she does, if Ross is to be believed that Carol was his first lover and the college cleaning lady doesn't count.
They don't have healthy boundaries. And then when they do their dance routine, you know, and Monica is like asking if she should not wear any underwear, it's just like, really? Would you be saying that when you're dancing with your brother? Well, Monica would, because she's weird.
Excuse me, sir. Would it help if I weren't wearing underpants?
Monica! Would it?
And this lack of boundaries with Ross, I think, is actually kind of responsible for one of the worst parts of his life. So she interferes with his love life, and she's almost single-handedly responsible for keeping the relationship with Emily going when it really should have ended. It's so obvious that they should have been a holiday romance and nothing else. Like, of course, if you really like someone and you have a really good time with them for a couple of weeks, you're going to be sad when you go your separate ways. That doesn't mean that you should stay together forever. It's not like a sign from the gods. But Monica pushes him to, like, keep this relationship going. And her explanation is, like, you have to live out my fantasy.
You're gonna see her again, right?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, whenever I brought it up with her, she said, "This is so fantastic. Why do we have to talk about the future? Let's just enjoy."
Don't do the accent. You've got to see her again.
And why do you care so much?
Because you could get to live out my fantasy.
You've had fantasies about Emily?
No, you know, the fantasy. Meet someone from a strange land, fall madly in love, and spend the rest of your lives together.
Is that why in junior high you were the only one who hung out with that Ukrainian kid?
Yeah, that, but plus his mom used to put sour cream on everything. Do you love her?
We said it was only going to be 2 weeks, you know?
You love her.
What is love, really?
Oh, I knew you loved her. Man, you need to go to the airport and tell her. You're probably gonna catch her just as she's about to go to the gate. You're gonna call out her name and yell, "I love you." She's gonna say, "I love you too." And then you guys are gonna have the most amazing kiss. Everyone at the gate will applaud.
I am a good kisser.
Well, then you two can and sneak into the cockpit. Things will start to heat up, and then a stewardess comes in. I've been watching too much porn.
So this whole thing is just her kind of having this like romantic notion in her head about this relationship with someone from abroad, and it's like, oh, it's so exotic, so passionate. But she just kind of pushes Ross down a road that he just shouldn't have gone down, and it turns what should have just been like a really nice, happy memory of like, oh, remember when you went out with that nice girl Emily? It turns into this thing which causes him so much misery. So yeah, it's his fault for saying the wrong name at the altar, but
when you look at the way this relationship pans out, both Ross and Emily are prepared to let it go. They feel sad, but it's all on good terms, a bittersweet ending. But because of Monica's insistence, Ross forces it to continue. He ups the ante by telling Emily he loves her. They now have to contend with all the complications of a transatlantic long-distance romance, which is obviously always going to end up with somebody relocating.
Did you do what I said? Did you tell her?
I did.
And what'd she say?
Thank you.
You're totally welcome. What'd she say?
Forget it, okay? Forget it. You told her you love her. It's over.
It is not over. You're over. Of course there's another guy. This is even more perfect. Now you have to prove your love.
I'm not proving anything. Okay, I'm done listening to you. If I hadn't let you talk me into going to the airport in the first place, I never would have put my fist through the wall.
You have to go to London.
What?
Yeah, you have to go fight for her.
Oh, yeah, sure. That makes sense. Yeah, because you already told her you loved her, and she didn't say it back. Then she called you and told you there was another guy. So, yeah, go to London. That'll scare her.
When Rachel was with Paolo, what did you do?
I made fun of his accent.
You sat back and let him have her. You didn't fight at all, am I right? You want the same thing to happen with Emily?
No.
All right, then. Go fight for her. Go to London. I mean, that could be you and Emily. That, but nicer. Just go to London.
Really?
Come on, surprise her. Show up at her doorstep. Don't let her go without a fight.
And much as Ross could take note of action being better than moping about, it's clear to everyone but Monica that this relationship is a no-go. But she still carries Ross along in this kind of rom-com fantasy that if you do the kind of stuff that guys do in the movies, then you'll win, whether winning is the best thing for him or not.
I think also Emily was just so wrong for him, which we'll talk about obviously in his video, but she wasn't like a good match for him. And I think people kind of say like, oh, she brought out this like really fun side of him, but he isn't that person. So he was just trying to be someone else when he was with Emily, and Monica couldn't see that, so she still encouraged him like, yeah, you should be with this woman who you're a completely different person when you're with her.
This was great. I mean, I was great. This was a great day. You know what? I'm buying everyone coffee.
He's trying to be somebody that he's not. And you might think that, you know, a caring sister would see that and would say, yeah, have your fun, but then, you know, just look at it as a nice interlude in your life, maybe got you over Rachel a little bit. But no, she gets caught up in her own selfish view of what that relationship should be, and so that she can go and have a sister-in-law from London and all this exciting stuff. And Emily even has a boyfriend back home, so it's just so not meant to be.
I love you.
Oh. Thank you.
But it gets pushed and kind of squeezed into this like, yeah, you should make it happen, and it shouldn't have. It should have just been left as a happy holiday romance, and instead it just kind of ruins Ross's life for a little while.
You know, kind of the same lines as, say, oh, I don't know, having a third nipple.
So why does anyone ever confide in Monica? I mean, like, probably most of them can't really keep secrets, but it does tend to be Monica who lets things slip more than anyone, except maybe Phoebe. And I think Phoebe and Monica kind of almost have a frenemies thing going on. Like, they don't seem to actually like each other very much. I think, like a lot of control freaks, she likes to have all the cards, and being privy to information that no one else knows about. Because she is kind of like, she is the linchpin that holds the group together, I think. So I guess she sort of feels that it's only right that she should have all of the power and the knowledge. And I think even though obviously this is a comedy and it, you know, her not being able to keep a secret creates some really funny situations for us to watch and laugh at, in real life, if you had a friend who did this, you would just never tell them anything. So when Gary is planning to ask Phoebe to move in with him...
So it looks like it's going really well for you two, huh?
I know, really well. In fact, I'm gonna ask Phoebe to move in with me.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
I think that it's so great. When are you going to ask her?
Tonight, but don't say anything, okay?
I swear, I promise. I promise.
Yeah, fine. So, what movie should we see?
Gary's going to ask you to move in with him.
What? Really?
He just told me at the counter. He made me promise not to tell, but I couldn't hold it in any longer.
And when David is planning to propose...
Okay. David's going to propose to you tonight.
Wow, really?
When Joey has a crush on a friend and Monica thinks it's Phoebe...
Wait a minute. He stopped talking the minute Phoebe came in.
Because he was looking at her differently.
And Phoebe is his friend, so he thinks that would be breaking the rules.
My God, he wants to do it with Phoebe in London.
You guys?
Just a minute. That's Mrs. Tribbiani.
You don't say anything.
Why would I say anything? They're two of our best friends could start the greatest love affair of their lives, and they would have me to thank, and then we could all start having babies.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
I mean, I really shouldn't say. I mean, I'm really not supposed to.
Fine.
It's a humdinger.
Well, and it's really too bad that you can't tell me.
Somebody likes you.
Is it Chandler?
No.
Well, then tell him to stop staring.
It's Joey.
Really, Joey?
Like, all of these times, she has to just let slip, just to kind of let that information leak out so that she can almost control the situation. And actually thinking about it, all of these involve Phoebe, so it's maybe just Phoebe who has to not let her know anything. It always seems to be Monica and Phoebe, like, leaking information about the other one. So maybe all these times is like revenge for when Phoebe's dropped her in it, which happens quite a lot. We'll talk about that in the Phoebe video. But yeah, she just can't seem to keep her trap shut about any of this stuff. So Monica thinks that it's Phoebe that Joey has a crush on, and she wants all the credit to go to her for getting them together, so that's why she leaks that. So I think this is her just being kind of a control freak, and it does have a negative impact on her friends. It is just kind of dumb luck that Phoebe doesn't say anything too embarrassing in front of Joey, so she's able to recover without kind of going, oh yeah, I know you have a crush on me. That would have been really embarrassing for Phoebe. And luckily Phoebe doesn't say too much before she discovers that it's actually Rachel, so she kind of gets herself out of that. But no thanks to Monica.
I know about your feelings.
Oh my God, you do?
Yes, and I'm sorry. I know things worked out for Chandler and Monica, but that's very rare.
I know, and this is so much more complicated than it was for those guys. I mean, it's Rachel, for God's sakes.
For God's sakes, it's Rachel!
She also lets slip a lot of secrets, and obviously she and Rachel have known each other a long time. She and Ross have known each other, you know, since birth. And she and Chandler obviously know each other very well. So there's a lot of information that she is privy to that she does kind of use against people. So when she's upset with Rachel, she obviously tells her father secrets that Rachel did not want him to know.
Just one second. Rachel, it's your dad.
Hi, Dad. No, it's me. Listen, Dad, I can't talk right now, but there's something that I've been meaning to tell you.
Would you excuse me for a second?
Yeah. Remember back in freshman year? Well, Billy Dreskin and I had sex on your bed.
And then Monica obviously likes to snitch on Ross, and you can understand why she wants to kind of tarnish that reputation that he has with his parents for being the golden child, just to kind of be like, you know what, he's not the angel that you think he is, he's bad. But yeah, she likes to let slip secrets about Ross to anyone who'll listen, really.
Thinking about maybe writing a letter?
All right, you know what? That's it. You've had your chance. Mom, Dad, Ross smoked pot in college. What?
You are such a tattletale!
And while we know Monica wants to clear up her parents' misconception about Chandler, there's actually no reason why she tells them more dirt on Ross. It's like, hey, if you're going to learn some new facts about your beloved son today, you might as well hear some more.
It was you? And Dad, you know that mailman that you got fired? Didn't steal your Playboys. Ross did.
She uses knowledge and she uses secrets as leverage and power. She's actually kind of Machiavellian in this way. She is quite clever. She uses information to manipulate secrets out of other people.
Hi, sweetie. So what was with all the whispering?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
Secret? Married people aren't supposed to have secrets between one another. We have too much love and respect for one another.
Aww. But still no.
No, I'm serious. We should tell each other everything. I do not have any secrets from you.
Really? Okay, so why don't you tell me what happened to Ross junior year at Disneyland?
Oh, no, I can't do that.
If you tell me, I'll tell you what Phoebe said.
Okay.
Okay. God, he threw up?
No, he visited a town a little south of throw up. So what was Phoebe's secret?
Nancy Thompson from Phoebe's old massage place is getting fired.
That's it? I gave up my Disneyland story for that?
That's right. You lose, sucker.
Those are tacos.
Excuse me, Mr. Mexico.
Either way, I'll pass. Still can't eat those. What's so funny?
And when she lets slip secrets, she also jobs the other person in it for telling her, in this case, Chandler. I mean, I guess it's a good thing if everything ends up being out in the open, but some things are better left unsaid.
And when we have these funny scenes with secrets being shared, we have Rachel, Chandler and Ross all spilling the tea. But the common fact is always Monica. You might almost say that she's the catalyst.
Ping pong? Honey, they have ping pong. Let's play.
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because you know how competitive you get, and while I say it's cute, others disagree, and I'm lying.
I'm not always that bad.
Oh, yeah? What happened when we played last time?
I punched you.
And?
Phoebe. And I clunked your heads together.
Here, I'm just going to let the clips speak for themselves. We probably all know someone who is ultra competitive, and it can actually spoil the fun for everyone else. What should be a light-hearted, easy activity turns into a stress fest when someone takes it all too seriously.
Monica, stop throwing it so hard! We're on the same team!
I'm not going to go too hard on her for the sibling rivalry with Ross because I think this is pretty common. And they do say that whatever dynamic you have with your siblings when you're young is the one that continues into adulthood. I mean, they probably should have grown out of this by now, but I think the way their parents treat them so differently is probably responsible for the unhealthy antagonism between them.
Monica and I aren't supposed to play football.
Says who, your mom?
Yes. It got kind of competitive, and one year, Geller Bowl 6, I accidentally broke Ross's nose.
It was so not an accident. She saw I was about to tag her, so she threw her big fat grandma arm elbow in my face. The touchdown didn't count because of the spectacularly illegal, oh, and by the way, savage, nose breaking.
I won the game.
Monica's competitive spirit spills into everything in her life. It's not just that she has to win at any game she plays, but she also has to have the homeliest apartment that everyone wants to hang out in.
I made snacks. Please just hang out, okay? I'm just gonna rest my eyes for just a little bit.
Come on, do you want us to come back later?
Oh, no. Stay. Just keep talking. I am always the hostess.
She has to have the hottest relationship.
We have got to beat them.
Why?
Because Gary and Phoebe think they're a hotter couple than we are.
Oh. So?
That was amazing.
Phoebe and Gary are so gonna hear about this at dinner.
I actually think this relationship one-upmanship might not be that uncommon, especially among young women. It's what social media is all about, after all. Some people are just like this. They turn everything into a contest. By the way, is Monica an Aries? I feel like she could be an Aries. So if you have someone like this in your life, you pretty much just have to accept that this is who they are.
And you don't get one.
I think in Monica's case, it does stem from trying to please her parents so they would show her love. Feeling inadequate in childhood could quite easily create a lifetime of trying to prove yourself.
If you're a professional chef, what are you doing taking Introduction to Cooking?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just that, well, I cook at this restaurant, Alessandro's, and I just got a really bad review.
Oh, Alessandro's. I love that place.
You do?
Oh, yes, you're an excellent chef. As a person, you're a little...
Oh, I'm totally crazy, but you like the food?
Sometimes this drive can actually create some positive results. Everyone benefits from her wanting to better her previous Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, why don't you cook Thanksgiving dinner and prove me wrong? Well, think about it. Think about it. You'd be trying to top what you did last year. You'd be in competition with yourself.
That's my favorite kind. Okay, we are doing this.
Or make the delicious chocolates that will make her the most beloved neighbour. And her ambitiousness has obviously resulted in this tenacity, which has led to her dream career. But when you find people literally not wanting to hang out with you because of the way you make everything a competition, you may need to re-examine things.
Okay, let's race. First one there wins.
Guys want to eat here?
Oh, yeah.
Winning is great, but long after people have forgotten the end result of a game, they'll remember how you made them feel. And Monica made Chandler feel like crap.
Let me in.
No, don't do it, don't.
What?
He's a dropper. I made this game what it is.
Not fun anymore?
Whatever the psychological reasons behind it, being an overachiever can be beneficial.
I know.
But Monica has no ability to switch it off.
Please let them win.
I'll take it down to 95%, but that's the best I can do.
You know you're too competitive when you end up losing your apartment over it. And Monica's inability to just let things go also leads to her damaging the apartment, which is annoying for Rachel, but must also be incredibly irritating for the neighbour who now has a hole in her ceiling. Monica always gets the final word.
You knew this about me when you married me. You agreed to take me in sickness and in health. Well, this is my sickness.
What about the obsessive cleaning?
That's just good sense.
Monica is generally a pretty decent person, but she definitely has fleeting moments where her ethics or her morals just go out the window. She just doesn't really care. I think she's probably one of these people who, you know, thinks like, oh, I'm a good person. But when it really comes down to it, she's going to do what suits her. Phoebe is a vegetarian, but Monica lets her just eat liver pate, which is very unethical.
Okay, I got one. Do you remember that vegetarian pate that I made that you love so much?
Uh-huh.
Well, unless goose is a vegetable.
In fact, I think that's really quite violating if somebody has a strict dietary requirement, whether it's kind of like for moral reasons or for health reasons or whatever. But I think that is quite common with horrible control freak kind of people to be like, oh, haha, you ate this thing and you said that you couldn't, or you said you didn't like it and it was in that dinner I made for you. So I don't think Monica is necessarily being like that here, but the fact that she just lets her do it is not great.
She also changes one of the dishes at Phoebe's own wedding to a meat dish that Phoebe won't even be able to eat. So she really has zero respect for anyone who does live their life by a particular set of ethics.
Oh, Phoebe, spit that out. That has pork in it.
Oh! Look! I thought the pot stickers were supposed to be vegetarian.
Yeah, I changed them. I sent you a fax about it.
Look, I don't have a fax machine.
Huh. Well, then there are going to be a few surprises.
Even if Phoebe does sometimes bend the rules for her own vegetarianism. And I just realised in the wedding episode she's debating halibut or salmon, so she's actually pescatarian.
She steals money from her brother. Maybe it's not so bad if it's your family member, or maybe that makes it worse. I don't know. But it's really not a good thing to do.
No, honey, it's okay. Listen, I'll go to Ross's, get the blender. You get all the margarita stuff ready.
All right. His keys are in the drawer. You know what? Also, I need some cash.
Okay, you want me to stop at the ATM?
No. While you're at Ross's, if you see me lying around.
What?
What? I don't do that.
She buys a bed from Janice's ex-husband's store.
Even though this is seen as a betrayal of Chandler because he and Janice are a couple now.
Oh, I cannot believe he's using our divorce to sell mattresses.
I know. At $4.99 for a pillow top queen set, who cares about the divorce? Those babies will sell themselves. And I'm appalled for you, by the way.
Ugh, I don't know, Monica. It feels funny just being here. I mean, if you buy a bed from Janice's ex-husband, that's like betraying Chandler.
Not at these prices.
Because that's the bed she wants. She'll be loyal to her friends to a point, but when it actually kind of affects her and means that she can't do something she wants to do, she's not gonna stick to it. She's gonna just do the thing that suits her. And then, of course, this is probably the worst thing, where she's hiding lottery tickets. So they've all agreed that they would split the prize.
Okay, well, are all the tickets in the bowl?
Yeah.
What about the ones you have on the nightstand?
There are no tickets on the nightstand.
Yes, sir. I just saw them a few minutes ago.
No, you didn't. You must be mistaken.
Honey, there are like 20 tickets on the nightstand.
Chandler, sense the tone.
And then she's just like, no, I'm gonna secretly hide. I mean, what was she gonna do if she'd won it? Would she have just been like, oh yeah, I just got a really big bonus at work or something? Like, she would have had to confess. So I don't even know why she did that, but it's quite a telling moment for her character, I think. She says that it creeps her out to choose other people's sex clothes, but she has no problem making other people, including her brother, choose her sex clothes.
If you were hoping to sleep with Joshua for the first time tonight, which one of these would you want to be wearing?
You know what? It really creeps me out choosing other people's sex clothes. Sorry. Oh, okay, big brother. Which one of these do you think would make your little sister look hotter so your best friend would want to do her?
The red one.
So this comes up a lot in discussion about how Friends has aged and how comedy that was acceptable in the 90s and early 2000s is not considered acceptable anymore. And there are a lot of jokes about gay people.
In defense of Friends, they did make a point of having a lesbian couple.
It just normalized that and put it in a really popular show. So they kind of did their bit for like acceptance. And it's interesting because obviously the guys, there are a lot of jokes about like, oh, don't hug too much, don't touch me, we don't want to be seen as gay. But Monica seems to do it more than anyone else.
So how goes the dancing? Gay yet?
She certainly does it more than the other girls. Basically, if somebody is going to make a gay joke, it's probably going to be Monica. And I don't know if this is just like the writers, it's like, oh, anyone can say that line, oh, give it to Monica. But it seems to happen a lot. So it does seem to be part of her character that she has some, I think actually a little bit of homophobia and some internalized misogyny, because there are quite a few times where she's like, oh, you don't want to lose to a girl, do you? And things like that.
Don't get too cocky. Remember, I won the last one. Oh, by the way, how did that feel, losing to a girl? Oh. Whoa, whoa. Tackled my girl. Because you don't see that every day, do you?
And if you ever find yourself saying that, like, oh, you've lost to a girl, ha ha, think about why that is a misogynistic thing to say. Because why shouldn't boys lose to girls? Why would that be embarrassing?
And it's weird because I think in a way she believes she's actually striking a blow for feminism when she says this stuff. But if you act like a man should be ashamed that he lost to a woman, that just reinforces the idea that men should be superior, and if they're not, then there's something wrong with them. Obviously, men are going to be better at a lot of sports that require speed or strength, but Monica seems to think this applies to every kind of game.
So Monica kind of constantly teases Chandler for being
potentially gay or somehow effeminate.
Now you're just a girl in a tub.
So in an earlier season, I think there was a whole thing about people thinking Chandler was gay, and they were like, oh yeah, you have equality. And I think when you watch it, you're like, yeah, I could see that.
But she continues this joke even when they're together, constantly pointing out any time Chandler doesn't act heterosexual enough or masculine enough for her liking.
Our guy's a great dancer.
My guy's well read.
Our guy has great hair.
My guy has great teeth.
Our guy smells incredible.
Do you want our guy to be your guy?
And I mean, it's funny. I think it's funny. But you do kind of think, okay, if you look at this as a whole, her character doesn't seem to be super comfortable with that stuff. I guess you wouldn't be if it was your husband, but you know.
You know what? I've just realised that when the guys make lesbian jokes to make fun of Ross, Monica only does this rarely when she's feeling provoked. And it got me thinking, maybe she does actually feel quite resentful towards Carol for cheating on her brother, but she wants to keep things cordial, so she never really says anything against Carol and Susan, but maybe it comes out in this homophobia she directs at the guys. Am I overthinking a fictitious character? Maybe, but I think the writers probably do go quite deep because you've got to have truth in comedy.
Also, Monica takes it upon herself to intercept a message from Emily.
But if you are, call me tonight. Okay, bye.
No. I know.
Well, thank God you were here. I mean, we have to erase that. What? We can't do that. We have to. I mean, what if Ross hears that and then calls her back and then they get back together?
I can't believe that Rachel was actually the more ethical one in this situation. That's a very unusual turn of events. But I guess Monica was trying to protect her brother, but I think that's really violating the brother-sister bond. So I'm glad that at least Rachel was honest with Ross about that.
Before I met you, I had really little life. And I couldn't imagine growing old with...
Oh, my God.
I know, but just let me say it.
Oh, my God, Richard.
What? I'm Chandler. Oh, that's Richard.
Oh, God. Maybe he won't see us. Richard!
She isn't actually great in relationships. So first of all, let's talk about Chandler. She's actually kind of mean to him quite a lot. I guess some people do have relationships like this where there's a lot of banter and there's a lot of making fun of each other. And if everyone's okay with that, if everyone's enjoying it and having fun, then it's fine. But if one person isn't really enjoying it, then it's not so great. So apart from, you know, implying that Chandler's gay quite a lot, she does kind of compare him unfavourably to her ex, which I really think is not okay, ever. Like, you don't want that. Can you imagine if he said something like, oh, it's a shame you can't do it like Janice used to? Like, she'd be furious. But for some reason, it's okay for her to kind of point out where Richard did stuff right and Chandler doesn't do it right.
It's easy. Just keep it casual. Give him a kind word, shake his hand, and give him the money.
How do you know so much about this?
I don't know.
Richard used to do it, didn't he?
We'd be eating our soup right now.
And I think this is especially hurtful when, you know, Richard was this older guy, he was very suave, man of the world, you know, to the point that when she was going out with him, Chandler and Joey were like idolizing him, which is actually quite weird when you think that Chandler ends up with Monica.
So did you guys have fun?
Your boyfriend is so cool.
Really?
Yeah, he let us drive his Jaguar. Joey for 12 bucks, me for 15.
Wow.
Look, it's the artist formerly known as Chandler.
Just trying something here, you know.
So, Joey, why didn't you grow a mustache?
Oh, we flipped for it. I got the cigar, he got the mustache. I figured if we both grew, we'd look like dorks.
But they were really like, oh, we want to be like him when we grow up. So it's pretty hurtful, really, that she then sort of uses that against Chandler. Like, yeah, you'll never be like him. You're still not as suave as him. You're still not, you know, James Bond. And you never will be. And I just think you don't do that, do you, to your partner? You don't compare them really to anybody else, but certainly not your ex, who was the love of your life, who maybe they feel a bit insecure about. So the fact that she's fine with doing that, knowing it must be a bit of a sore point for Chandler, that's really crap, isn't it? I think that's really unkind. And even this bit where she's like, star in a movie.
Joey, not that this should affect you at all, but if you were to pick me, I was planning on wearing a sequin dress cut down to here.
I haven't seen this dress.
Star in a movie.
So she doesn't have a problem telling Chandler that other men are better than him and he will never measure up to them, which is not very kind, is it? And also, just going back to the Richard relationship, she wasn't great in that one either, or at least not after it ended. I think breakups do bring out the psycho in all of us. And, you know, breaking into Richard's answer machine, I think most people, if they did have the access, they probably would do this. But that doesn't make it okay, does it?
Here, I got it. I will play my message for you guys, and you can tell me if it's breezy enough.
But, Monica, how are you going to do that?
I know the code to his answering machine.
The outgoing message has now been changed.
Outgoing? Did that say outgoing? Not outgoing! Hi, Richard, it's Monica. Listen, I did something kind of crazy tonight. Maybe I'm getting my period or something, I don't know.
I mean, it's funny because it's so cringe and it's such a, like, nightmare. Like, oh my goodness, imagine if that happened to you. But I think you kind of want to give her a break because obviously, like, when you break up with someone who you're still in love with and you're breaking up with them for kind of circumstantial reasons, you are going to struggle with that. But that's not healthy boundaries. These days it would be breaking into his Facebook or Snapchat or something. But I think if you do have access that you could do that, you've just got to walk away.
Also, she's reluctant to let go of her ex, and she even keeps it a secret that she's met up with Richard because she knows it will annoy Chandler. And I'm sorry, but when someone pulls the "I didn't tell you because I knew it would upset you" line, that's a red flag in my book. I think it's really important to have clear boundaries with other people when you're in a relationship, especially with people who still have a bit of a special place in your heart, as Richard obviously does for Monica.
Okay, I ran into Richard yesterday, and he asked me if I wanted to go for a bite, and I did. And the only reason why I didn't tell you is because I knew you'd get mad, and I didn't want to spoil our anniversary.
Speaking of which, it's him who approaches her about getting back together, but the fact that she storms over to his place when she's mad at Chandler for his apparent failure to commit, yes, it's drama for us as the viewers, but that is a pretty terrible thing for her to do. If you're having issues in your relationship, the only way you're going to sort them out is by having a conversation with that person, not by discussing them with your ex.
I'm not a kid anymore. I need to be with someone who wants the same things that I do. I mean, coming to my place of work and telling me that you love me, I want that. Talking about pig sex over lunch, I don't want that.
I'm getting married! I'm gonna be a bride! No, I will not shut up because I'm engaged! Oh, big talk, huh? Why don't you come over here and say that to me, huh, buddy? Yeah, my fiance will kick your ass.
Okay, so even the best people can become a bit Bridzilla-ish. And I think Monica actually, on the day itself, she was admirably cool and calm when, you know, Joey's really late and her friend announces that she's pregnant. It wasn't Rachel's fault, and we have already done the video for why Rachel is both the best and the worst. It is ironic, isn't it, that Monica was like, well, when you get married, I'm going to announce I'm pregnant. And Rachel actually does that by accident. It's not her fault, but it still happens, doesn't it? So Monica does have a lot of things going wrong on her wedding day, which she's fine with. Like, she manages to kind of just get through it.
Who is this?
I'm Father Karabetsos.
He's Greek Orthodox.
As are you.
Let us begin. Dearly beloved. That's my line.
But obviously the months and weeks leading up to the wedding, she just becomes more and more Bridzilla-ish. This is what she's been waiting for her entire life. They kind of want to cut her some slack.
Ow!
Oh, what's the matter, honey?
Oh, my hand feels weird. I guess it's because I'm engaged.
How long before that starts getting annoying?
It starts.
And she's not on par with... Have you seen that Bridzilla's program? It's brilliant. I don't know if they're still making it because I haven't seen it for a while. But you do kind of think, how did these people find someone to marry them? And how do they still have friends? They're just awful, awful people. But anyway, so Monica's not that bad, but she does kind of milk the whole wedding thing. And she really does take advantage of this kind of opportunity to get her friends to throw parties for her, get gifts for her, buy more presents for her. And, like, yeah, I kind of have to admire her audacity and her chutzpah.
Hey, Phoebe, can I talk to you over here for a second?
Yeah.
Subtle, guys.
What?
I know you're planning my surprise bridal shower.
Okay, well, don't ruin it. Just play along at least.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Oh my God, we have to throw her a shower?
I'm gonna go, guys.
Okay.
Guess you can get back to deciding on what to get me for a present.
We have to get her a present?
I think if you're gonna demand presents and parties, that's probably quite a good way to do it. I mean, it's probably better than not saying anything and then being upset that they didn't spontaneously think of it themselves. But weddings do seem to bring out the worst in Monica, so she inserts herself into her cousin's wedding, and we find out why she wasn't invited in the first place.
Monica! What am I doing here? Why? Surprised to see me? Ross brought me. How do you like that?
Hi, Franny, congratulations.
You invite my brother, you invite my whole family, and not me? Why? Why wouldn't you want me at your wedding? What could I have possibly done? Stuart.
And for the sake of a funny moment, we'll let it slide that Monica somehow managed to avoid seeing the groom's face until the actual wedding reception.
But she's wearing like a lacy white dress or a cream dress, so not great. And when she is entrusted with picking up Emily's wedding dress, she wears it to do the washing up.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you for coming.
I don't actually believe that somebody like Monica would do this because she's a hygiene freak. I don't think she would be putting on her washing up gloves and then wearing a beautiful dress that she's got to pass on to someone else. I just don't think she would. But it's a great comedy bit, I guess. But it's very disrespectful, isn't it, to the dress and to her future sister-in-law to just be like, I mean, imagine if Emily or Ross had walked in and caught her. How horrified they'd have been. That's a really bad thing to do.
I'm not going to include Monica's scramble to get her dream wedding dress in this. Some people would call that being a Bridzilla, but honestly, to quote a Monica phrase, it's just good sense. If I'd been her, I wouldn't even have told the other bride about the sale because, well, knowledge is power and you just never know what people will do with it.
And obviously Monica's initial thought is that she wants to, you know, splash out and spend all of Chandler's savings.
Wow! Are you kidding me?
What? How much is it?
It's enough for wedding scenario A. Really? How great are you, you little saver? I mean, the amount you have is exactly the budget of my dream wedding.
Oh, you guys are so made for each other.
Well, you're not suggesting that we spend all of the money on the wedding.
Yeah.
Come on, I've been saving this money for 6 years, and I kind of had some of it earmarked for the future, not just for a party.
Wow. Hello, Mr. Chandler.
This is the most special day of our lives.
No, I realize that, honey, but I'm not going to spend all the money on one party.
Honey, I love you. But if you call our wedding a party one more time, you may not get invited.
But he does talk her around, or she comes round to a more sensible, rational way of thinking. So she's not all bad.
Not surprising that Chandler doesn't really get a say in the wedding. After all, he doesn't really get a say in much of his life with Monica, but at least he knows what he's getting into. Also, I think he's right about the roses. They are more wedding-y.
What do you think about centerpieces?
Centerpieces.
Yeah. Roses or lilies?
Definitely roses. Well, I just think they're a little bit more wedding-y, you know. But lilies are the clear choice.
Oh my God. It's like one mind.
Uh-huh.
So that is why Monica is surprisingly the worst friend. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope that you'll join me for the next video, which will be all about why Monica is actually the best friend. And there'll be more Friends content coming soon. I will try to dress the part as best as I can. I've got some more videos coming up on intuition and spirituality and books and stuff like that. So maybe you'll join me for those too. Who knows? Anyway, thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. So this comes a lot, it's, I guess we can all relate to the, and I guess this is something that a lot, now.